In this manga chapter, Goku goes fast and punches a goat in the face. What do you think, Corey?
5 out of 5. That's what I think about this chapter.
Da 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 da.
Powerful Nerdcast assemble. Stay dandy, baby.
So anyway, guys, this manga chapter was pretty awesome. We're getting to see Goku's brand new Ultra Instinct, which is, again, we've seen it in the Tournament of Power. It's not our very first time seeing it, but it is Goku can now master that ability. But there is a downside. Corey, when you looked at this chapter, were you expecting a little more, or were you happy with what we got?
Here's the thing. Of course, I was expecting a lot more. I'm always expecting more from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super in particular, which continues to just, blast through the glass ceiling in terms of its creativity, if you even really want to call it that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, Ultra Instinct is just another form for Goku, and it's only a matter of time before he was actually going to master it.
Once he gets it, it's a journey to master.
Exactly.
It's not that he's just going to keep it in the back.
The cool thing about it now, using Ultra Instinct Sign, is that he's able to turn it on like a light switch.
Yes.
That is like a step in the right direction. As far as what we actually got from this chapter, is it really anything new that we've seen from the Dragon Ball series? And the answer to that, of course, is no.
No.
It's basically the greatest hits collection of some of your favorite moments from the Dragon Ball series.
That's a great way to put it.
Just describing this chapter, doing a review of it is difficult because it really just amounts to Goku fights against Moro. Moro is able to take a lot of his attacks. Goku loses a little bit of power, powers up again, and that's the end of the chapter.
Yeah, you pretty much exactly described it. And I love what you said. It's like pieces of your greatest hits of your Dragon Ball love over the history of the series. Like you got it feels very much like the Saiyan saga because they're fighting on the pillars in the desert where Vegeta and Goku fought. It has transformation, so it's very much like the Frieza saga, where Goku gets Super Saiyan for the first time.
Or even Moro when he powers up to his other form, which isn't even another form, it's just him basically flexing his chest.
He gets buffer. Yeah, he's trying now, though. That's what they're trying to signify with that. Essentially is he's trying now because he realizes Goku is somewhat powerful. Mm-hmm. But let's also say Goku's new abilities are more about speed and agility, and they do make that pretty obvious because he is not destroying Moro. He does get one or two really great hits against him, but all of his punches are more kind of like a nuisance and are not finishing the job. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to see that he gets this great power-up. Also, there's no screaming here. This is not raw fury power-ups. These are this is almost like a monk, it's very, very calm. His breathing is very under control. It's very different than like a Super Saiyan transformation, which is like pure rage and electricity. And this is like very
that's one of the hallmarks of Ultra Instinct is just pure control of not losing control of your overall power as well as just your overall demeanor. And one thing that I do love that they took from the Tournament of Power, and one thing that I love the direction they're going in, and this is something that sort of happened a lot after Dragon Ball ended and they moved into Dragon Ball Z, where in Dragon Ball, there was a lot more emphasis on movement and choreography. And when we got to Dragon Ball Z, everything just became flying around really fast and blasting things with beams. And a lot of those things are always going to be cornerstones of Dragon Ball, and it's always really cool to see that stuff.
Yes.
But when they got to the Tournament of Power in the anime version, what I loved especially when Goku was using Ultra Instinct for the first time, or his big climactic battle with Jiren, is the way they animated Goku moving. There was a lot of him simply just running on the ground and doing flips and dodging attacks, whereas if this was Z, he would just fly in the sky and use instant transmission, and that would be the end of it. I love the way that they're actually showing Goku move here, and it really is a great way to emphasize how fast he's become. And I also love the fact that they're expanding on one of the attacks that he started to use a lot in the Tournament of Power, which is basically just punching the air and using like the wind blasts to hurt his opponents. Like he did that to Jiren a lot in the Tournament of Power.
Yeah.
And getting to see him use that against Moro in this chapter I thought was really good. But at the same time, like I said, they still sort of use that old awesome Dragon Ball stuff as a crutch. Like the scene where both Moro and Goku punch each other at the same time. Like, I've seen that a lot in the series, but I'll be damned if it's still not awesome.
Or the Kamehameha, and they're both, like, holding back a blast. Moro's holding back the blast while Goku's, like, projecting the Kamehameha. Mm-hmm. And I also think I do have a criticism about this chapter. It doesn't necessarily make it a less good chapter, but if I did have to criticize one thing, it would be that I had a hard time understanding what Goku was doing sometimes, because the point of them showing him, like, appearing behind Moro did not happen once. Mm-hmm. Happened many times. And I'm like, I didn't understand the progression of what was going on. I thought I was reading the chapter wrong because, you have to read manga backwards to what we're traditionally used to here in the United States. So I was like, am I reading this wrong? Because I've done that so many times where I forget I'm reading a manga and I read it backwards and I have to reread it again the right way. But I realized, no, it's just to show his speed, they kind of have to not give away the choreography as much. Like when you see Goku and Vegeta fight, they have like orange and yellow following them, and there's explosions and trails to their movement. But here it's just movement lines and like a silhouette of Goku appearing behind Moro over and over again. So I kind of had a hard time following the fight, but I understand they're really trying to show us a fight in a different way now.
Exactly.
They're trying, and I think they're succeeding. I just wasn't used to it yet.
That's why I always tell people when it comes to do I like anime? Do I like manga more? I always like anime more because you can see things happening. In a manga or even a comic book for that matter, a lot of the times you kind of have to use your imagination to see how things actually do sort of play out. Watching an anime and reading a manga are very different things in terms of like seeing like an action scene play out as opposed to watching two characters just talk to each other. And again, if there's anything that's good about that, it's that you get to reread the chapter and sort of appreciate all the amazing artwork, which in a manga version, when compared to an anime, is always a lot more consistent and high quality in terms of what it's actually delivering here. And like I said, this is picking and pulling from some of the best stuff and choreography from the Dragon Ball franchise, and it was explosive and it was awesome. And this is going to seem like another strange comparison. I know that there's going to be some surprises in this arc, and I think a lot of them are going to come from Vegeta. But right now, reading Dragon Ball Super is kind of like watching a sporting event for me. Like, I love football and I love the NBA. But it's always kind of the same stuff for the most part. But you always find yourself going back and watching it, mostly for the thrill of the sport. The thrill of Dragon Ball is the thrill of the fight. Always watching it happen, always watching it unfold, because it always looks flashy and always really impressive. And even though it is very similar to a lot of the things that I've seen in the past, it always manages to surprise me and get me excited. And really, this is Dragon Ball. We already know that this is like the appetizer before we get to the main course of what's really going to happen. I mean, just the fact that Goku's just using, the sign version of Ultra Instinct. Like, we know we're going to get to that moment where he brings out the silver hair and he has even more of a composure, and he's just going to go crazy against Moro, who's probably going to reveal another crazy ability from himself. Really, man, and this is the thing. Like, we've talked about this for the last couple months with Vegeta doing his training. I really hope they're building him up for something special here, because if this were any other major arc in the series, Vegeta would be having this fight right now. He would be the one who's fighting against Moro and not necessarily winning, as we wait for Goku to come in like the hero and save the day. Ultra Instinct is an awesome technique, and I really hope that even in this arc, even the one we're watching right now, as exciting as it is, I don't want Goku to master it. I want him to fail at it. I want him to show that he's getting better at it and more competent, but right before it looks like he's going to win, he loses control again, the power disappears, and that's when Vegeta has to come in and look. I have some brand new techniques which have never been seen in the series, which have nothing to do with Ultra Instinct and nothing to do with instant transmission. Vegeta is going to deliver something new for the series.
He's going to learn how to heal Goku. Goku can win.
If that happens,
that's all he's going to learn.
I'm going to be pissed.
They're
going to
make the best warrior a damn healer. I hope not to.
I really hope that doesn't
I think
happen.
your Vegeta tangent is a good one. We saw Vegeta in this chapter. I hope he does some things coming up. I'm glad that his he can sense flippant energy across the universe now. He's obviously has
some Superman shit.
Yeah, they're all turning into Superman slowly, and I think that he obviously has learned some new techniques, like you're saying. I'm more interested in Moro because I think Moro has obviously a lot more up his sleeve. He's going to defeat Goku in this first round. Let's say this is their first round of the fight. He's going to defeat Goku. It's pretty obvious at this point. He already got some hits on Goku. It wasn't like Goku was just running a train on the guy. And so it's interesting to see the fight evolve. I still think Goku and Vegeta are probably going to team up. I'm starting to think that might be the method that goes down. It might be a Goku and Vegeta screaming together, punching through them, punching through Moro. Or Beerus might get off his ass and show up there.
I was so waiting for you to bring up Beerus again,
I
because
know.
almost every time we review Dragon Ball Super, you want to talk about Beerus, and you got Beerus in this chapter. He didn't do much of anything because, like I said, he don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's a god. He's just doing fishing and relaxing and doing what he wants. You had, Whis and Maris who were communicating a little bit, who were basically there just to give us that Ultra Instinct exposition, explaining that it's going to drain all of his stamina. Of course, Goku is a character who always manages to break through the walls of stamina, which is kind of interesting. But getting back to that little thing we were just talking about, you said, like, all the characters are, slowly turning into Superman. Getting back to Moro again, that is, again, something that makes his character very interesting. I loved the scene where Goku was outmaneuvering him, and he's like, whoa, you're dodging everything. Well, how do I beat that? I just have to make sure that you can't move at all. So he uses his magical abilities to keep Goku from actually moving around. And that's what I think is going to be most interesting about Moro. Yes, he can physically keep up with these characters. Hell, he can take an Ultra Instinct punch directly to the chest and somehow survive, which alone speaks for how incredibly powerful that he actually is. But he's a magic wielder, and that's something that we haven't seen too much of in the series, but we've always known that magic is incredibly powerful in the Dragon Ball world. I mean, Babidi was not the strongest character. I think we all know that. Physically, the character couldn't do shit, but he could also control Majin Buu, who was basically like the embodiment of pure evil. Magic in the Dragon Ball world can trump a lot of the strongest muscles that we've actually seen. And I really hope we're going to get to see more of what Moro can do as far as his magical abilities go. Because that's really going to trip up Goku and his friends, because they don't deal with that stuff that much. They deal with strength and ki.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. The magic wielders we've seen have always been assisted by Bronze, and now it's all combined into one character. So he is an interesting character. I still feel his character design is a little out there for a Dragon Ball Z character.
I think it fits right in.
I just,
he looks like I said. He looks like an ex-god of destruction.
He does sort of have that vibe to him.
Because they're all just like anthropomorphic animal people, which is pretty common for Dragon Ball.
I guess that's true. And, he could be like, I guess the goat thing could easily be like, you always see goats as like the demonic, like even Berserk, there was that goat monster that that Guts fought
yeah.
at the orgy scene. Getting off track here. But
really getting off track.
But yeah, you get the whole idea. Like the demonic goat thing is sort of the bringer of evil. You see that a lot.
Yeah.
So I guess they're sort of channeling that character design in this.
It's those damn horns, man.
The twirly horns?
Yeah, they always look so metal.
Yeah, it is very metal. Also, an awesome Instagram account is Nature is Metal, so go check that out on Instagram if you want to have your mind blown. Yep. And so overall, I thought it was a really good chapter. I say this a lot, but it got me excited for next month's chapter. Fuck, I hate saying that.
It sucks waiting a month for these chapters to come out.
But they're always good, and the quality is good. You can tell they didn't rush it out. You read One Piece, and that shit looks rushed sometimes, and not the story necessarily. Not shitting on One Piece in that sense, but like the quality of the Dragon Ball Super manga has been good the whole time.
Yeah,
so
consistently, especially through this arc right here.
Yeah.
I think the best that I've seen from the original manga material, and again, just bring the anime back so they can screw this up.
it's coming back. I'm not even worried about
it. It has to. I want to see this arc animated so bad, especially because in some ways it's just getting started.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Moro's new moveset. That's what I'm really excited about, to see how he gets creative with it. I'm excited to see how Goku is defeated, in my opinion, in this first battle. And then I'm excited to see Vegeta heal him with his new powers and then get defeated and then Goku win.
Eeny, meeny, miny, magic, bitches. That's the way it's going to be. As far as the score for this chapter, I'm an easy sell when it comes to action. And yes, a lot of this is basically the same old stuff that I've seen. But sometimes I like the same old stuff, and it looks really good, and it's getting me really excited, and I love reading solid action. So I'm giving this chapter a 5 out of 5. As a Dragon Ball fan, I'm fully satisfied.
I completely agree. 5 out of 5. Great chapter. Gets me excited for next month's manga. And I'll tell you what, I want to hear what you guys think. Do you like this new magic villain? Do you think that Goku's actually going to like damage Moro heavily and then not really lose, but then Vegeta's going to come in and they're just going to like tag team in? Like, what do you think is going to happen? You think it's going to be a combo defeat of Moro? What else, Corey? What other questions you got for
That's
these
basically
people?
it. What do you guys want to see from the future of this big, epic, climactic battle with Moro the Planet Devourer? Do you want Goku to win? You want Vegeta to win? You want them to fuse? You want them to work together? Do you want some other mysterious element to come in to shake up this arc even more? Who knows? There could be a lot of surprises. Sound off in the comment section below. Let's discuss it all. With that, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the review today. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to power up to your Ultra Instinct form. Use a Kamehameha Blast and hit that like button. Helps out these videos tremendously. But if you want to go the extra mile, please check out our Patreon account. We just got a brand new patron. We have a few other Patreon reviews which are coming out very, very soon, which is really exciting stuff. Remember, if you guys donate just $1 a month, you guys can actually make a request and we will review an anime series of your choice. So please make sure to check that out. But as always, the best way to support our channel simply is to watch our videos and to share them with all your friends. Christian, you got anything else for us?
Oh, also money helps. So if you want to help with that, just so you know.
That is the crux of what I am saying, yes. So,
okay, guys, really, thank you so much for watching everything we do. We really appreciate it. It's what keeps us going. If you want to support the channel, check out our Patreon. If you want to also support us, check out our Amazon links. To just use Amazon, but with our links, it helps us out.
All right, guys, that wraps up this review. We'll see you all next time. And as always, stay dandy, baby.
How come there isn't a cartoon version of me yet? Just really appreciate the viewership as always, guys. And until next time, not super commie. Sorry, Corey.
You're bringing up the old days here.
The old days.
Until next time, guys.
And next that time?
I'm going to have to make a new intro now.